This place is not festive enough. Give me a sec. So, yeah. I don't actually have a hanger to hang it up. I don't know why I picked coffee like an old man instead of hot chocolate this year, but we're rolling with it. Hello everybody, my name's Defect. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas from me. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorite Christmas specials growing up that no one for some reason seems to be talking about. It's entitled The Town Santa Forgot. It's an animated special produced by Hanna-Barbera, which you guys may know for Scooby-Doo and Yogi Bear, that first aired on December 3rd, 1993 on NBC. Which for me is not how I saw it. I saw it years later in mid-2000s whenever we bought an old VHS of this special. The one I had was produced by Cartoon Network, which also ran the special for many years after it first ever came out, even into the late 2000s. It has a nice, cutesy, hand-drawn animation style that I just love about it, and I think is so nostalgic from even a time I barely even recognized. And to top it all off, it's voiced by the Dick Van Dyke. He's the one who does most of the talking during the entire special because it's based off of a poem entitled Jeremy Creek, which essentially is just being read throughout the entire special, but I love the animated side of things. We have all these crazy set pieces and letting your imagination run wild. We open up on Dick Van Dyke talking to his little bratty grandkids on Christmas Eve night. And as most kids their age, they want everything under the sun.
You better come soon and deliver the goods, because I asked for a lot of things I want to get. And if I don't get them, I'll be real upset.
Capitalism, am I right? Noticing their sociopathic behavior, he then begins to tell them the story of Jeremy Creek.
Come.
Excuse me, Dick Van Dyke? This is a kid's show? Jeremy Creek is this little brat that gets so many toys no matter what. He cries and whines for whatever he wants, and he gets so much. Then one day, he sees a toy he really wants on TV. And as per usual, what does he do? Screams and cries. But this time, his mom snaps. Then Dad comes in to back her up and starts lighting Jeremy up. He goes up to his room, pissed. But then he comes up with the most big-brained idea in the entire world. He'll just ask Santa for everything that appears in his brain for some reason. He tapes his list together from tons of pieces of paper. And when his arm gets tired, he uses his dogs. He's a maniac. A literal maniac. They then spend the majority of the runtime abusing their poor animators by listing a completely crazy, insanely large amount of items. I mean, like, I don't even know. How did he come up with this? And then finally, once his list has become a fire hazard, he mails it off. I can only imagine how much that would cost if he went with UPS. In the next scene, they get the list of the North Pole. And after it proceeds to hospitalize over 200 elves, they have to figure out who would send this large of a list. They see the name, and thinking that no kid could be that bratty, and would have the audacity to wish for that much, boy are they wrong, they propose that it's a town. Honestly, I can't blame them. I can't blame them. Who has the last name Creek? That just sounds like a town. They look and somehow they actually find it. And found out that coincidentally they had been missing it for like ever. All of these Christmases. Santa, how do you do that? So like a dad that only comes around once every year, they attempt to make it up to the kids by giving them everything they ask for. And they make it better by singing.
No time to lose. We've got to keep it snappy.
So much to do, so little time till Christmas Day.
I have no witty comment for this part. I just genuinely enjoy the song. Christmas Eve comes, and instead of Jeremy being satisfied with what he asked for, he climbs out to the roof of a net to mug Santa for everything he's got. I must say, he's quite innovative to say the least. He's like a reverse Mr. Beast. Their names are like Jimmy, Jeremy. That wasn't even scripted. I literally just came up with that like on the spot. After waiting for a while, he finally spots Santa doing some wacky shit and delivering to everyone but Jeremy. Get f***ed. And because he's a beta, he throws a fit. I mean, honestly, what did you expect him to do? He throws a fit so much that eventually it becomes the next day, Christmas morning. And he looks out his window and sees all the other kids with their toys. And he's figuring maybe Santa snuck in some other way, through the window or something. He rushes downstairs and there's nothing there at all. My man's disappointed, as if he doesn't have an entire Macy's up in his room. He then saunters into the living room and tries to complain to his dad.
Wailed Jeremy loud as could be. Shh, said his dad.
I'm watching TV.
That line genuinely made me laugh. I don't know what it is. It's something about the delivery, but the fact he does not give a is so funny to me. The TV that his dad's watching has these kids of the swamp playing with all of these various toys. And then it's revealed that the name of the town is also Jeremy Creek, which we already knew, but still, he obviously gets pissed seeing everyone with the toys he asked for. I'm starting to think this guy's a sociopath. Maybe it's just me, but like, I don't know. A little girl then decides to speak up and show her admiration for whoever sent out the list for them. And all of a sudden, my little man thinks of himself as the Wizard of Oz or something. Because after getting praised on the TV for that, because everyone thinks that he did it out of love and wanting to get their name acknowledged and get toys to those kids, he becomes prideful about it. My man's needed prodding to feel good about giving. He's a sociopath. He starts to get really proud of himself and he sneaks away so people don't see his joyful demeanor. And then under the tree, what does he see? He sees Santa just chilling, and Santa tells him that now, all of a sudden, for some reason, he knows that Jeremy did it. And he offers anything he wants with his magic. Anything the kid wants. What could the kid possibly ask for? Solving world hunger? Immortality? $1 million? What is it? What are you gonna ask for, Jeremy?
Gee, I really can't say. What I thought that I wanted was given away. And after what's happened, I've come to believe it's more fun to give than it is to receive.
So, with Jeremy giving him the perfect opportunity, Santa proceeds to break all child labor laws and make him his assistant. So for the rest of the year, we see Jeremy giving away all of his old toys and being this sweet guy now. And then all of a sudden, Christmas Eve comes again. And he hops in the sleigh with Santa and helps give presents to everyone. And he does this every single Christmas until he's too big to fit into the sleigh. He's really sad. He's obviously built up a relationship with Santa. And so he gives him his binoculars. The same binoculars that he used to look for Santa when he was going to try to mug him becomes the very thing he uses on Christmas Eve. And then eventually, it's what he gives to Santa. I don't know. I just think that's kind of sweet. Like, I know it's like really, really simple story writing. I don't know. I think it's sweet. I think it's nice, okay? That's all that matters. It makes me happy. And this is where the grandpa ends his story. And he speaks about how Jeremy Creek continued to give for the rest of his life. And every Christmas, he remembers the moments that he shared with Santa. The kids, having listened to this story, feel like now, even if they don't get anything for Christmas, it'll be okay. Because they're grateful for what they do have. Which, the fact that they were able to internalize that story so well, only hearing it one time, is probably the most unrealistic part of the story. The grandpa then hops up and proceeds to get way too personal and break the fourth wall.
Or girl for his Christmas Eve cruise. To help him deliver the toys down the flue. To help drive the reindeer. Will it be you? Or will it be you?
What the hell? Do not get that close, man.
I could help Santa. It could be me. Or me.
It could even be me.
Holy f***. Honestly, there's nothing too wrong with this Christmas special. Normally, I'd try and rip it apart or dissect it in some crazy, pretentious way. But I think it's really sweet. I don't think it needs too much of anything. I don't think it needs anything more. It's wholesome, and I think being grateful for what you have and learning that it's better to give what you have to others, whether it be financially or with your time and effort and love, is a good lesson that we all need to be reminded of. And this is a great season to be reminded of that. I'm hoping you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And remember, it could just be you.